Hi, everybody, and welcome to this Bulls Update. And we welcome in UB Cross Country head coach Vicki Mitchell to give us an update on the men's and the women's teams that are deep into their season. The weather has turned. We're back to running weather now, so everybody must be happy.
Yeah, we're pretty excited about a little bit cooler weather, some cross-country weather for sure. It's been very nice.
All right, let's talk a little bit about a big tournament this past weekend for your team at Lehigh, the Paul Short Invitational. A lot of teams, Division 1, 2, and 3. And as we go through it, it shows that your teams did pretty well in this meet.
We sure did. Our men's team had a very strong performance, finishing 15th out of 38. Actually catapulted them up to being ranked 10th regionally in the Northeast region, which is really a great point in this point of the season.
Right, and the women finished 17th out of 45 teams competing.
Yes, and there were about 13 nationally ranked top 30 teams in the NCAA competing there. I think the fields were the strongest they've been in years there, and it was a great opportunity for our teams to get out and really race hard.
All right, let's highlight a couple of the outstanding performers from that trip down to Lehigh. Andrew Birch for your men's team.
Yeah, I'll tell you, Andrew has been our top runner the last two meets, had a personal best on that course, running very, very well. And for both our teams right now, we're training through these meets. The volume is high, workouts are tough. We're not really rested going into them, so we're pleased with how they're running.
All right, and on the women's side, Stephanie Ward.
Yeah, our little freshman continues to just hammer out these great races, and it's been a lot of fun because I think the more that I kind of let her go and race hard, the harder she will go. So I'm taking the reins off her a little bit and letting her free, and she's making the most of it.
All right, so you take the reins off of her and you let everybody else really run free, and you got another big meet coming up where you're going to learn a little more about your team down at Penn State. Tell us about it.
Absolutely. So the Penn State National Meet's another high caliber meet where we'll see a lot of nationally ranked teams. There'll be about 30 men's and women's teams competing. A lot of the Northeast and Mid-Atlantic teams will be there. For us, we set up our schedule to prepare our teams for the conference championship. And we want to provide really high quality competition opportunities for them to challenge themselves and have them ready to go on the 29th when we're at conference.
Can you sense from your athletes that when they compete against highly ranked teams and highly ranked individuals that they push themselves a little farther?
Oh, absolutely. You always race faster when competition is more stiff, and that's the whole purpose of going to high quality meets. We don't want to go to a meet that we can just run easy and win. We want to be push challenged, kind of extend ourselves, because that's what we're going to have at conference.
Right, and obviously everything is sort of geared towards being successful in the MidAmerican Conference.
Absolutely.
Right, okay, so speaking of successful, and you've touched on it already briefly, your men are ranked 10th regionally, up from 15th. Your women are ranked 13th regionally, up from 14th. That says an awful lot about where the season has gone so far. When you hear those rankings and you see them, what sort of jumps into your mind as to why that success is happening?
Well, I think as we look around the competition, number one, we're performing stronger each week, which is our plan. We don't want to perform our best at the beginning of September. And again, rankings are opinions of the coaches making the poll. So we take it with a little bit of, all right, it's a ranking. It's not an outcome. We can use it as motivation. Certainly our guys were pretty pumped to see him jump up so far, and that's going to spur on their competition. I personally think the women were a little underranked, and that continues to motivate them. But again, they're just polls. They certainly are great for creating conversation, and it's just fun to see them get a little bit more recognition.
Right. Those coaches' opinions are always great until they're wrong, right?
Right. They didn't ask mine, apparently.
They didn't ask yours. No, they did not. So overall, give us a sense of where you feel like your teams are at right now as you're getting closer towards those MAC championships.
Yeah, we have a lot of young runners running well with our teams right now, and a few of our older athletes are really each week taking another step forward with their overall fitness level, confidence level. And I think in another 3.5, 4 weeks when we get to the conference meet, we're going to be where we want to be. And we're pleased with the direction we're heading.
All right. Well, I know we're going to check in with you and get some updates before we get to that point. Always good to get the latest on the cross-country team.
Thanks.
Vicki Mitchell is the UB women's cross-country and men's cross-country head coach, and we thank her for joining us on this Bulls Update here on the Bulls Digital Network.